back in the day before I sung, before I was a singer. No, you've known me a long time. Yeah, but when I was 24, I had my first show ever. I was singing at the Viper Room. And I told you about it. And you're like, I'm going to,
Oh, yeah.
You came out on a week before.
Oh, that's right. I was like, yeah, I went.
And
I went the wrong week.
Yeah, but it was like this moment where then they bumped me up on a better slot and a better stage time. And they put me on the main stage because you did that.
I did that. Well,
this must be somebody that should be. Or they hit me up. They're like, we're actually going to move you to the main slot and we're going to put you on the main stage.
You're welcome.
So thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Time for the Maker. I have our lovely guest, Rochelle Aytes, actress, dancer. She's also a friend of mine and also an eyebrow client of mine for if you can see.
20 years, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love to have you here. I'm so glad that you decided to come down and support the Time for the Maker.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here and to hang out with you in a different setting.
Yes, it's
like you said, we've been hanging for I don't even really know.
I'm
joking. I said 20, but it could be.
I think I met you when I was 24 or 25.
And
maybe.
How old are you now, Sarah?
I am 27.
Just 2 years. It
feels like forever. Yeah. 39. I'm 39. So we're looking at 15 years. And you came into Damone Roberts.
Right.
And I remember when you got in my chair.
Mm-hmm. I remember, oh gosh. See, I'm so bad with names. Taryn Manning.
Yes.
I worked on this show called Drive with her, and I was like, your eyebrows are flawless. Where do you go? So she told me to go to Damone Roberts. I went there. I think I might have gone to him once.
Mm-hmm. In the beginning.
In the beginning, maybe. And then I found myself with you.
Yeah.
And I've been following you ever since then.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Yes, it's stuck. And now our relationship has definitely developed.
Yes, through the years. I mean, I was there at your bachelorette party? Wasn't I at your bachelorette party?
My bachelorette.
Or your engagement party?
Yes.
On the west side?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
You came to that?
Yeah, that was my late 20s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Your late 20s? Well, I've been married 8 years, almost 9.
Okay.
Engaged for a year. Mm-hmm. So that's going on almost 10. So
probably 29.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taryn Manning used to come in. I remember when you came in, you talked about Drive, because was that on USA? What was that on?
Ooh, Fox.
Fox, okay. Yeah. And now you're best known for Mistresses, White Chicks, Medea's Family Reunion, and then there's several others though.
Yes, there's I've done a lot of TV shows, some pilots that really didn't go anywhere, recurrings on. Well, actually, I recurred and then I became a series regular on SWAT.
Yes.
Worked with Christian Slater on The Forgotten, which was a detective show. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot. Some people actually know me from this movie called Trick or Treat, which was a cult classic.
That's a big film.
Yeah.
People talk about that a lot.
Yeah, they do. Every Halloween, people watch that.
And I haven't watched it yet because I'm still kind of nervous about horror.
Because you don't
is
like
it horror? Yeah, I do a little bit. I'm starting to do more.
It is. It's horror, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But there was a horror movie, and then you've been, because you'd been on SWAT for what? How many seasons have you been doing with SWAT?
I recurred for 3 years.
Isn't that interesting?
And then I was a series regular for 2, maybe, so 5.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Time is flying. I feel like that just started.
I know.
And it's really interesting. I don't know. And now you're on this new show. It's called Watson.
Right.
It's on CBS. I watched 2 episodes, and it's good. It's so brainy. And I love that.
It is.
And I like seeing you as a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah,
but didn't we have that conversation? Or am I just making that up in my head? Didn't you went out and auditioned for another role that was a doctor in a different show, and I said to you, I can see you as a doctor.
Yeah,
do you remember me saying that? I was like, I see a doctor.
You know what? And I think I said to you, it felt good too.
Yeah.
The audition was good, but I was panicking about it because it was
really brainy.
Way harder.
Yeah.
It was just so challenging. And that was called The Pit.
No. Oh my God, that's so wild.
Right. So
and
I didn't get it.
And they both are out at the same time.
Exactly. I didn't get that, but then I got
And
I
that's a
got
good
Watson.
show too.
It's really good.
Oh my gosh, so yeah, and they're both so different, actually.
Oh, so different. I mean, The Pit is about the emergency room.
Yeah, which is
and
stressful. I have to tell you, I was a
It's
little
so
triggered watching it.
stressful. It's so stressful. It's so good though, but it is
It
so
is very good.
stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Watson, it's like the detective about medical conditions that people don't know about, which
Right.
for me, that's been my life for a long time, having to
Yes.
uncover things I didn't
It's
understand.
like a mystery.
Yeah, and
you
there's
know?
so many things like that with health, and you have had a journey with
Oh yes, I've had a health journey with my
yeah.
back pain.
Yes.
And doctors just
Didn't
not
know.
really being able to help. And
Yeah.
if I had a John Watson
Yeah.
who could come
I know.
in and
If all of
be
us had
like,
one.
you know what? Let's investigate your past. Let's look at your mother and your
Yeah.
father and
Because genetics play a huge role in all of this stuff.
genetics plays a huge role. And since we're talking about it, I'll just talk about it a little bit. Like the
Yeah.
pain that I was in
I remember this.
was
I
so
remember this.
debilitating. And it was in conjunction with my mother being sick and then passing, right?
Right.
And she was in a nursing home for, I think, 9 years. She was bedbound. She couldn't move. I
Right.
mean, she couldn't get out of bed.
Yep.
I think I just started to imagine her
You were
being in the bed. Like, so I'm in pain. I'm in the
Yes.
bed. Like
Yeah.
my back was, I think I had degenerative disc disease. They said I had some disc bulges. My L1, L4, L5, S something was out. I don't know. Anyway, the pain I was in was so bad. I just kept imagining my mom and the pain that she was in.
You were
And-
empathing her, connecting to
And
her.
yes,
Yeah.
and it just, I don't know,
related.
it was making it even worse.
Worse, yeah.
And the grieving. And,
Yes.
and so I went to a Reiki.
Yes.
I did some Reiki, and she kind of like talked about, before I even said anything, she started to tell me about my male side and female side and how I was holding on to the grief. And
Yep.
yeah,
You're
she went
storing the energy
storing
and
the
the
energy.
grief from both sides of the family. I mean, this is what we do if you're sensitive, most people. And then it was manifesting into your body at
Oh
the
my
same
God.
time.
Yes.
And it's so interesting how emotional pain becomes so physical.
It's exactly. And
It's mind-blowing, kind of.
and even when I felt like I was starting to get better, something would set me back just because I ran across the street
Right.
too fast.
Triggered.
Something triggered it. And then it would go, then my mind would say, oh my gosh, I think this is going to be just as bad as it was the first time. It would make it just as
Yes.
bad.
And
And so
we've
there was an
talked about-
emotional, there's a memory to it as well.
It was a loop in your brain. So the second that would get triggered, you'd go down that neural network and you'd steamroll back into that program that was in there.
Exactly,
And you'd have to
exactly.
learn how to catch yourself.
And it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was.
And you
so
did.
hard.
You caught yourself.
That was 2017. That's when my mother passed. And now it's
condolences.
thank you. And now it's 2025. And I can say that I'm past it.
Thank God.
Thank God. I mean, there were definitely, it took years though. It took years.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know. It's kind of like it's supposed to be for like the ancestors, like, yay.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. They're celebrating because it's a big feat whenever you move through grief or illness or physical stuff. And it's all tied to emotional, mental memories, blah, 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 blah. There's
Right.
so much. And you were a very good friend of mine in that time when I was going through mine because you were saying this stuff to me. So you were kind of like,
Right.
I'd been through something similar and I remember when you went through this. But
Yep.
yeah, and you're from New York, right?
I'm from New York.
And your mom was based out of New York too.
Yeah. We're from Harlem, and she was in a nursing home in the Bronx for the 9 years.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
rest in peace, Mama.
I know.
Angel
Love
Mama.
her.
Angel Mama. When did you come out? So you went to school. Okay, you're from New York, and you went to you studied in dance. I know that.
Right. I was, I went to LaGuardia High School for the performing arts and majored in dance. And I went to SUNY Purchase College and majored in dance. And I came out, and then I had a short-lived dance career. I was in a company called Ballet Hispanico. I did, and we toured throughout the United States. And then I was in a Broadway show called Aida, and we toured throughout the United States. And then we actually came here. I'm in LA. We actually came to LA for 2 months. And I really liked LA. And I was just, I don't know, I was kind of ready to do something else. And so I started taking acting classes when I got back to New York. And when I finally came out, I think it was 2003 or something like that.
Yeah.
When I had come out to audition. I had gotten a call back for White Chicks.
Okay.
And I came out here for the callback, and then I booked it. And I was going back and forth for a few years, and then finally I moved out in like 2005, I think.
Nice. That's right about when I came out.
Wow.
I came out 2006.
Wow.
I know. And so you came to the Sun.
I came to the
shipped
Sun.
And you made...
The Sun was only
You
out
love
for
the
2
sun.
months a year in New York.
You love the sun. You love
I
the
do.
beach. You're a
Yeah.
mermaid, a bit of a mermaid.
Yeah.
So you came here and then you shifted and you changed your career. You moved into, and then did you get an agent right away, or like how did the transition happen for you from dance to moving to LA to getting?
So so it's the transition was in New York.
Okay,
So I was still
with White Chicks
in New
out there.
York. Yeah, I was still living in New York. I was still taking dance classes. Girl, one time I went and auditioned for a Beyonce
Destiny's Child?
No, it was when she was a solo artist, and I remember auditioning for some concert she was doing, and I was acting, but I still had one foot in the dance door.
Yeah.
I was still taking ballet
that's
classes at Broadway Dance or wherever, because that's my heart.
Yes, that's your soul right there.
Yeah, and even though I did White Chicks, I still wasn't sure if this was going to be my career.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that good. I was just so green and so new. But I did have an agent, and I did have a manager, and my agent started to send me out more and more. Like I said, I did White Chicks, and then I would just come out for pilot season, right? And then I got Medea's Family Reunion. I actually moved out after that because I started dating somebody in LA, because I still didn't want to commit to LA.
Yeah, you're still like, I'm not sure if this is the direction I want to go.
I liked going there, thinking I'm in New York. I liked coming here for a couple of months at a time. But then, yes, I started dating somebody and decided to, make the move.
And then you did it.
Yeah.
When did Mistresses happen? You were with me at that time. You were in my chair.
Right.
And that was on for 4 seasons or 5 seasons?
4.
Okay.
That was in 2000, I want to say 2009 or 10.
Yeah, I think I have it actually written down. Yeah, 2009.
Good job.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I did that in 2009. Well,
that had a good run.
So a funny thing is, I actually, the year before, I auditioned for a show called Mistresses for Lifetime.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So Mistresses was a show, a British show.
Okay.
So it was just remade. It was remade for, for the U.S. And it was a completely different writer. Like I said, it was Lifetime. And I actually booked that. And we shot it in Vancouver.
What?
And that was probably a few years, maybe just a year or 2 before that. We didn't get picked up. Okay. Cut to a few years later, my agent is like, so we have this audition for you. It's called Mistresses.
You're like, I already did that. You're like, is there a glitch in the Matrix? Is this back again?
Right. So confused. And you said, no, it's for ABC, have different writers, Rena. Shout out to Rena Mamoon and KJ Steinberg. Anyway, I said, okay, sure. So I auditioned for a different character and got it. And this one was a success.
Is that what they call like foreshadowing? Kind of.
Right?
Like it kind of almost happened and then it shifted. And, there's always a time when something's supposed to take off.
Right.
Right? And one time for the maker. It's always about timing, and there's always like an alignment when a project gets picked up or when you're going out for pilot season or when, there's like a lot of trusting in your industry.
Yes.
Right? And also surrender. And I have to say, I've watched you through the years in your non-attachment, but like commitment with your craft. It's like, I don't know. I mean, what I see is that you do practice a level of non-attachment, but you keep going and you keep believing. I know I'm not there for the other parts of it.
It's like, I mean, it's good that you see that because I do, like, there's 2 sides of me, right? So I do tell myself, you got to let it go.
Yeah.
you know, but also focus and keep going because I don't know another way. Right.
Right.
I'm so driven
Yeah.
in that way, but there's disappointment and angst. But then I just try my best to believe, not try to believe, but I do believe in a higher power. And I do
Amen.
believe that I am going to be provided for and taken care of because of the proof.
Yes, it has worked out. It has worked out.
It continues to work out. I continue to be taken care of and blessed. And so I just have to remember that every single time he's taken care of you before, he will take care of you again.
Yeah. There's always something waiting and blossoming for you to jump into and to shift. You know, and the TLC movie, I never got to see it.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder if I can watch it now. Can I stream this?
I'm sure. It's come on
what was it?
VH1
That's
before.
Okay, I got to watch you guys Crazy Sexy Cool about the
Yes.
TLC story, and Rochelle plays the manager.
I play Pebbles, who was a singer in her own right.
Yeah.
Right? She had that song, "Do You Wanna Ride in My Mercedes, Boy?" Okay, I can't sing, but anyway,
that was actually
that's
pretty
her song.
good. I don't think I know that song though. I'm like, do I know that song? But they were so big, and I remember when you were doing that part.
I was
gotta
working
watch
on
this.
Mr. Sis at the time.
Oh, okay.
And that's a nice thing. Like when you're on a moderately at least successful show,
Yeah.
sometimes things will come to you, and that was one of the things I didn't have to audition for. I got it.
It just came across.
It did.
The script just came. Just showed up on my desk. The script fairies came down and delivered.
Thank you. But I got to meet T-Boz and Chili.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
It was amazing. I was on the phone with them, and they
Yeah.
were telling me their story, and I just kept saying, "I can't believe I'm talking to this."
Yeah, I
dude.
can't
This
believe
is
you are
crazy."
too.
We had a really good time,
Yeah.
and that was my
I gotta watch this.
one and only chance to play someone real.
Yeah,
And
that's cool. What
and that was cool.
the difference of that for you? What was I guess there's a lot more. Is there a lot more investigation into the person's life
Yes.
and story?
I did the best that I could. She
That's
was
so
not
fun.
a part of it. And
Yeah,
I actually
well, of
ended
course,
up suing
because
and
of the
it was
way
a
the
whole
story
thing.
goes.
Yes, but
For those that know,
right.
Yeah.
So all I did was I just looked her up. I watched a lot of her videos, and I got a lot of information from T-Boz and Chili
Nice.
about her, and and that's all I could do. And then I just used that information coupled with whatever
Aesthetically.
I can bring to it.
Mhm.
To the character, and I don't know. I have fun.
You felt
doing
like
it.
you embodied it. Now
I
I gotta
did.
watch it. That came up when I was doing my little bit of research
Yeah.
for today. I was like, oh my gosh, I never saw that. Because when you did that, there wasn't streaming yet.
Right.
There wasn't a way to
Exactly.
see things
Right.
unless you watch them in real time. With entertainment right now, because of all these strikes and everything, and you've been able
Yeah.
to work through, pandemic. I mean, you're always working.
Oh man,
It's a blessing.
And I'm always thinking that. See, this is the contrast. Like I'm always thinking that I'm not going to work, but I know that I'm going to be blessed. So
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's like this. The fear comes, and then I go, no, stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just the business because we're not in a business where you just have a 9 to 5, you work on a job for 30 years, and you retire.
Yeah.
It's like every time you work, it could be your last.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't know.
You don't know.
I think I dabble in lots of different creative things, but I think being an actor or an actress is so fearless for so many reasons because there's so much trust. And then also you're putting yourself through these different levels of emotional expression that
Mhm.
maybe you have to be so embodied to be an actor.
I hear what you're saying,
Mhm.
but there is fear.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is for it, but you just go through it anyway.
Courageous.
Courageous?
Yeah.
Courageous. Because
courage,
I'm still scared.
yeah,
I just
courage
do it
is being
anyway.
same with my stuff.
Yeah.
Courage is I'm afraid I'm not sure this is going to work out,
Right.
but I'm going to do it anyway.
Anyway.
It's saying to fear, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to do it anyway.
Then I'm courageous.
You are.
I'm not fearless.
This is why. Yeah. So let's correct that, you guys.
I love
Rochelle
that.
is courageous.
I love it.
My dad gave this to me years ago. I was like, I
That is
gotta
so
find a
funny.
use for this.
I love it.
Isn't it pretty?
Yes.
It's pretty.
You get to incorporate your musical
I know.
ability.
Oh, we got the art. I got the sound. We get to talk to each other. We get to look. We get to put our makeup on.
Amazing.
We get to incorporate everything. That's beautiful.
I mean, and you've also done my makeup before.
Yes. Oh, so Rochelle, I love doing Rochelle's makeup. I mean, guys, I have to tell you, it's like she's so beautiful without makeup. So it's like, oh my God, I have to. So I'm always telling her, I think every time I do her makeup, I'm letting her know I have to do it in such a way that I don't cover the natural beauty because I could really mess this up.
But you do great. I love how you do my makeup.
And I've been doing your brows forever. And I love doing your makeup too. We did a shoot a long time ago. We did it for a magazine. Well, I remember I did your makeup for a People carpet once, and oh God, I love that picture.
Oh yes,
you were glowing on that carpet. I don't know what it was about that.
We've done quite a few things.
Yeah. But the shoots are always fun, and it's just such a pleasure to work with because there's a lot of ease with working with you, and there is, and that's to ease. Having ease is to be is such a gift in a way, and it's to be learned. Like I've had to learn how to have more ease in my life. Before I was like, trying to
right.
And I've learned that the more ease, the more that happens.
Right. But also I trust,
Yeah, you do trust. You do know how to pick.
Yeah.
You have a good picker.
You said you did art, right?
Yeah.
You can do brows, you do art. After the first time, I'm like, great, I'm in good hands.
Yeah.
And I love that. As long as I feel like I'm in good hands.
Yeah. I just want to be as impactful creatively as I possibly can right now because I feel like it's an antidote to a lot of disharmony. No matter what anybody is going through or what's happening around us or what your perceptions or viewpoints or opinions are on anything, the antidote to a lot of any strife is to be creative.
Yes.
Right.
And just be, inspiring to other people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stress in the world right
now.
I know. So if we can make people feel good.
Yeah.
Make them smile, warm
Makes
their
me feel
hearts
better.
a little bit. Even this podcast,
Yeah.
if someone is listening to this and can just enjoy this, 45 minutes,
Chit chat and creativity and beauty and all the fun things that we get to do.
Right.
I know we are blessed, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, completely. You have a new character you're playing right now. How many episodes did you guys shoot up in Vancouver?
We shot 13.
Okay, that's a lot, actually. It's pretty good. So getting into this character, is there something new that kind of came through to you with this character that's maybe new to your repertoire of preparing for this? I said character like 5 times. Character. I just said it so many times. That's new for you because it's a different person. It's a different role to play. This is your first medical. Wait, is it your first medical?
So it's actually my second, but this is definitely more in depth. And I played a doctor on Criminal Minds.
Right.
So I recurred on that
Minds.
with Shamar.
Yeah.
And I was a doctor. And there were, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times where I had something to do in the actual hospital. But this was definitely way more intricate, in depth, and I'm Googling these words and what does this mean? And oh man, I wish I had
You're a
something.
surgeon too, not just a doctor. You come in with the stuff
I know.
on. I was like, oh.
And I didn't know because my character, Mary Morstan, I play Mary Morstan. She's the medical director of UHOP, so she's not practicing anymore, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, that part is done.
Yeah, she's back in the wallflower, not wallflower, but she's not.
Right. And so
on the floor.
Exactly. And so, but they ended up in, I think it was the first episode.
Yeah. They put you there like you're doing surgery.
Going in the room. Okay, what's this like? So I had to do my research. Like I didn't know that when you get into the surgery room, you have to have your arms up or here. You can't put them below,
Because you guys have consultants on set, right?
We have consultants. Yeah. But I will say that Inga, shout out to Inga,
shout out,
who plays Sasha. She's actually the one that told me because she's in real life. She used to be in the medical profession.
Oh, perfect.
And her husband is a geneticist as well.
That's perfect for the show.
Oh, because
that's what the show's kind of all about. It's kind of about genetics.
It is, and so she's perfect. For her character, and she was the one she was so sweet. She was like, "Do you mind if I just." Because actors, we don't necessarily want to give another actor
right. You want
direction.
You want to
respect.
Yeah.
But she did tell me that. And I was like, oh, thank you. No, I'm open, please.
Yeah.
Because I want to do
Do
this right.
well. Yeah, I want to do this well.
You know, we're a team here.
Yeah.
We're a team on that show. And I say my lines over and over and over again. I Google it. What does this mean?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. That's my research.
Is there anything before you go on set? Because set's very different, I'm sure, than stage, as I know that stage is a whole other animal.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go on set, is there a ritual or anything that you do?
I do a lot of my preparing for sure at home. Like I said, I do a lot of studying, and I loved where I actually lived for the first season. I was walking. I love how I said the first season.
Because that's how it feels, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be more.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel you. I did watch it. It's good.
I stayed by the water, Sunset Beach.
So pretty. I love it.
I literally could walk outside of my apartment and just walk along the beach. I put my headphones on. My form of studying is I say the other person's lines and then I leave a blank for me. And so I hear it because it's important for me to hear other people speaking. That's just how it works for me. And so I'm hearing the scene and I'm saying it as I'm walking with my headphones. So people think that I'm talking on the phone. Talking on the phone.
Talking to yourself. Sorry.
Talking to myself. Sure. You know, that works too.
Talking on the phone. Sorry. I talk to myself. So anyway, go ahead. I think we all do. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like my preparation. I don't necessarily make a decision on like how I'm going to say it because you have to stay open to when you're in front of the other character to play. But I just need to make sure that it's flowing out of my mouth and it feels like it's second nature.
Yes.
And then when I'm on set, I mean, maybe I'll take some deep breaths and, you know, try to like ground myself. Yeah.
Nice. I remember pilot season and how that was like this huge thing in town, right? But that's not really the case anymore, right? Because of streaming, it's changed how we release. Has it changed how we release shows? And
there's like no one time of year for pilots, right? Now, network still has pilots, CBS, ABC, Fox, NBC,
right?
You know, but it's less.
A lot less.
It's
than
just
it was.
a lot less.
I just remember it being such an overarching.
Oh, I know.
Thing in town.
There used exactly there. I don't know the number, but there were.
I mean, it was all the time. Yeah.
There were a lot of pilots being done, and then it wouldn't. If a show in the second or third episode wasn't doing well, they would just let it go. You could have shot all.
They wouldn't even show the fourth.
Correct.
Fifth. Whoa.
As a matter of fact, example, Drive.
Right.
I think we actually filmed about 13 episodes or something like that. They only aired like 5 or 6 or something like that. But they paid us for all of that.
Yeah.
I did another show called Work It. It was a comedy for ABC.
Yeah.
And it was about two straight men trying to get work, and so they pretend to be women to get work.
I think I remember this.
And it was a very funny comedy. And I was in that. We shot all 13. We got paid for all 13 episodes, and they only aired 2.
Interesting.
So my point is
that doesn't happen necessarily anymore.
Not really.
They commit to the rollout.
Yeah, because they had so many other shows that they could put in its place.
Yeah, they had all this ammo to just shoot out and see what grabbed. And now it's kind of operating differently.
I think so. I think they're being choosier about what they produce and put out there. And they are giving shows a chance for an audience to find it and grow. Yeah. At least giving the shows a chance for it the first season. Yeah. They're not like just canceling after 2 episodes.
Exactly. And it's different now because people tune in. A show can hit later. Like Schitt's Creek for me was like later. I became obsessed with it.
Right. And that's because there's so much content too out there. It becomes word of mouth. Okay, let's just wait and see if people will catch on to this or to that. And because of streaming, people are starting to watch stuff, streaming. They'll wait. They don't want to sit and watch the commercials. Yeah.
Exactly. You can just skip through it.
Right.
Do you like how it's changed when you audition now? Do you like auditioning in the, like...
Oh, let me take a sip.
I love asking this question. It's just so different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
there's something about both that I like.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
positives.
So so what I liked about being in the room
Mm-hmm.
was the feedback you get,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can make a different choice, right? The directors want to see that you can be directed.
Right. That's an
'Cause I
important
don't
part of being on
exactly
working with people.
right. I don't always know what I'm doing necessarily. Not, no, I mean, I make a choice, but I don't know if that's what you want.
Yeah.
And then you can shift it. Say, you know what? No, try it this way. I love the energy of being in a room. However, when I'm in a room and I haven't auditioned for a while, I'm so nervous. I
It's
have
like a
anxiety.
performance.
I am
It's a performance. Yeah.
I'm a nervous Nelly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Shaking. Shaking. Rochelle's shaking.
I'm just shaking. It is so bad.
I can't imagine.
And it's worse.
Pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. And it's worse when there's like a gap. So if I take acting classes,
Yeah.
I want to say that if I take an acting class, I'm in the rhythm of it, and it's better, you
Yeah.
know? And so on the other
It's a muscle.
side, it's a muscle,
It's a
and you have
muscle
to
like
keep practicing.
all performance.
Yes. And by the way, I take classes,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
not
good.
all the time,
Yeah.
but
You're always studying.
before I got Watson,
Mhm.
I was in acting class for like 6 months. Well, because we also had the strike,
Right.
and I needed to stay creative.
Yeah.
And so I went back to class. But every time I go back to class, I feel like that's when I book, you know, stuff. But
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so going
Gotta
back,
work. Gotta practice.
you gotta practice.
Mhm.
But on the other side of that,
Yeah.
there's something about self-taping that I also like.
Okay.
And that is, well,
You can control the way
you can
look.
control the way you look. There's no nerves.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit, actually. I still get a
I'm
little
sure- yeah.
nervous. CJ and I self-tape together, and I care, right?
Right.
I care about it. But you can do it over and over again until you get it to the way you want it.
So just like everything in life,
It's
all these
challenging.
changes that are happening,
Yeah.
there's good on one side and bad on the other with everything that's evolving right now in all
Yeah.
these industries and especially in the entertainment business.
Exactly.
And there's positives and there's negatives.
There is.
Is there something that you would like to see for the future of making TV and film that you would love to see shift for the better?
I love how people of color are really working, for
Amen.
sure. But I wish that there was more,
Yeah.
more leading Black
Roles.
women on network.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I wish.
And
I
I'm
wish
sure there
that.
will be.
Yeah,
I mean, I just want to say that there's so much power in that community.
there is.
Yeah. I mean, that's where music is for me. I mean, music was,
Mhm.
it was hip hop and I mean,
Mhm.
of course, rock and roll, but rock and roll came from the blues. But for me, the the Black community for me and the music community is like what guided me to my voice.
Wow.
There's a lot of inspiration and power
Yeah.
there,
Absolutely.
and really good at alchemizing that and turning it into powerful art is like,
Mhm.
I mean, how much more can you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there will be more. I feel like there was a huge shift in narrative, and then now we're going to balance out, and it should just become natural.
I hope so. And what I notice is that it'll just be like one or just one Black woman
Mhm.
in a predominantly white show.
Right.
Like
Need
why
more.
can't we have, I mean, I'm happy on this show right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Watson's got a good, diverse cast.
I'm not necessarily wishing for this to happen right now, but I would love to work on a show where I have a range of friends who are,
Yeah.
not only who are Black. I'm always the one. I'm
Yeah.
actually
You're like the one.
I'm always the one. I want to have some other girlfriends that's
Yeah.
from Harlem. I
Yeah.
want to do a Harlem show.
Yes.
It happened
Ooh,
already.
Did it?
Yeah, Harlem. It's a show.
Oh my God, I never saw it.
It had 3 or 4 seasons, and I
Oh,
loved it.
You
Actually,
can do another Harlem show, though. It
I
can be a
wanna-
different story.
I know that's something that
Well, we're putting that out there.
I'm from Harlem. I want to do
Yeah.
something where I
And
can
that's
be
your
in my
roots.
neighborhood, my roots.
And that's
Yeah.
your roots. And you know what? I feel like that could be the future for you too, is creating more, like beyond just being the actress. Because
Yeah.
I know you've shot a few things.
Yeah.
Did you write? You produced. You did some production.
I produced it, and it was based on my own personal story, but I had someone write it.
Right.
Yeah. So that was an experience.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it's an experience, you know.
And
I learned from it.
Hey, we all learn. Whenever we get in the driving seat of creating something, we learn a lot.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
learn. This is why it's so magical when a show does well and it's got the ratings, it's got the great cast, it's got the great writing, I mean, the fact that you guys in your industry make all that move is mind-blowing to me.
You know,
Because I've
it's
worked
like
with different teams creatively, music,
hmm
beauty, throwing events, and there's a lot that goes into it, and I
So
can't even
much.
imagine at that level.
There's so much that goes into it, and it's almost like it is a miracle.
It is a
when
miracle.
when it comes together, because
Yeah.
you can have great actors,
Mhm.
but maybe the script isn't so
Right.
good. You know, it's
Or
like
the director's off, or
right. There has
nobody
to
likes
be
them, and yeah.
so many things have to fall into place
Mhm.
for there to be success, and I hope that that happens with our show. I
Yeah.
mean, we're still waiting to see if we get picked up,
Yeah.
right? But I think
I've been
we
hearing
have
from people.
a good thing
Oh, I
going.
watched Watson. That was good. Like, I'm hearing it.
Oh, that's great. And
So it's good.
Morris Chestnut, who is
Yeah.
number one, he is just the kindest person and so talented and
He plays the
so
character really well.
professional and so good.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Believable.
so good.
Yeah.
Episode 9
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
and Mary, my character, is going to be a really strong one in terms of story. Like,
Oh, that's exciting.
it's because right now, you know, I'm in here, I'm out,
Mhm.
I'm in and out. But that one, Craig Sweeney, the writer,
Mhm.
he wrote something that's going to be, I hope it's going to be
Oh, I'm
really
excited.
fun for you guys to
Yeah.
watch. But it was really fun for me to
Right.
shoot. Yeah.
And it's able to, you're exercising your, expanding in your creativity
Oh,
and being
yes.
challenged and
I
getting
was
more
being
emotive.
I was
and,
being so challenged.
oh,
So
doesn't
challenged.
that feel good when you're
So
challenged
good.
like that?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you can get stagnant in your creative process. And that's when it's time to try something new
Mm-hmm.
or to step out, Is there any advice that you would want to give to our listeners that, as an actress
Mm-hmm.
in the industry of TV, film, um, any kind of advice for getting started, or like just something along for you that has been true for you that you would have been nice to have known early
Yeah.
on?
Well, one, like we talked about, you have to be courageous.
Yes,
Right?
this is the word of the day right now with Rochelle, you guys.
Yes, you
Courage.
have to be courageous and know that being scared
Part of it.
is part of it, and it's so normal to be afraid. It's okay, but it's about walking through that door anyway.
Yeah.
You know, when I took acting class for the first time, I was watching them do this improv, and I was like the last one to go because I was watching to see what it was all about, and I literally wanted to pee on myself.
I was gonna wet my pants.
I was about to go to the bathroom
Yeah.
and contemplate. No, I was contemplating how to get up gracefully,
Oh,
pretend like I'm
interesting.
going to go to the bathroom and leave. No, this was in my mind.
Your nerves were on.
I was like,
high
I
alert.
can't do this, but I didn't do it. I sat in that chair, and when she called me up, I went up, and I, did this improv, and that's pretty much how I've gone through my career. The heart racing,
Yeah.
the sweaty palms, all of it, but just being courageous and going through it, and having a strong backbone is important, because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to say no, and you just can't give up. If this is what you're passionate about, don't give up.
Do it anyway.
Just do it anyway. Find a way to stay creative, whether it's taking class, whether it's, my husband right now, he's writing. He's in a writing class, trying
He's
to...
always growing, expanding. He does a lot of theater, right?
Yes, he does theater, and we both, I think it's just important to find your own way, and don't just sit back, because this is the only life you have. So make the best of it. You don't want to be, an old person going, oh, I wish I would have,
I know.
done that or this. It's different now because of social media.
I know. Ugh, so much
So
different.
this advice, it may not hold up well, what I'm about to say.
Well, say it anyway. Say it anyway.
It might not hold up well, but for me, it was more important to stay focused on the work, I just always felt like I couldn't really be the social butterfly. I would hang out, I would do that, but I'm not really good at networking.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at remembering everyone and who
I
are
got to talk to
they
this
and
person. I got to talk to that
right.
person.
Not that
The
there's
game.
not that there's
game.
anything wrong with that. Like
No.
some people are into the game and
they're good at it.
good at it.
Yeah.
But if you feel like it's distracting or you feel like you're not, it's okay too.
Not be that.
Because I still believe that your talent is what people are going to see and gravitate to.
Amen. I have to keep going because that's, yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I think that's it.
Yeah, no, it's true. That will speak for itself. And it's okay if you are not like other people because everybody has their own way of being. Just because one thing works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else.
It's true. We're all unique.
We're all unique, and you got to play into who you are.
And also, now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
People may compare you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're the next Halle Berry. I heard that a few times, but I'm not. But Halle Berry is Halle Berry.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's beautiful. But what happens is if that's in your head,
Now you're trying
to be or you have an expectation of what's to come. And then when it doesn't happen that way, then you're just left with disappointment.
because you weren't being authentic to you.
You just have to be authentic
you were
with
being
yourself.
pulled into somebody else's perception of what you're going to be, which this is huge in creativity. And they do this in the music business too. Oh, you're the next Adele. Oh, no.
You're
You're
not.
you. You're the next you.
That's it.
That's how it always is. And you got to, I think it's like having blinders on. It's always so great when people are inspired enough to tell you that kind of stuff. That means you're doing something right. But it doesn't mean you pick up what they see.
I love the way you
But
said that.
it's a positive reaction to get from people.
And you can be grateful for that.
Yeah. Oh, great.
But you have to let it go and not live in that.
Yeah.
Because
then it controls you. And then
Right.
it knocks you off your path. It knocks you out of your own lane, which is so important in the creative world. My dad said this to me years ago. He's like, if you let them bring you up, they can bring you down.
Yep.
If they love you, great. If they don't like you, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. If you're getting a reaction, that's it.
Yeah.
It's the eye of the beholder.
Right. You can't please everyone.
No, and why would you? What kind of world would it be if everybody loved the same stuff?
I
How
know.
boring would that be?
That's true. And also, I'm on social media. I'll post and I'll read what people's comments are. But I don't, when I'm doing it, I'm almost like, oh, I shouldn't be.
Yeah, because it's
Because
just too much information.
it could be good, but it could also be bad. I don't even like to read reviews. I don't like to do it.
Yeah.
It could be great. I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Because no one naturally is supposed to know what everybody thinks about them.
That's true.
And nor is it natural for me to know what's going on with everybody all the time.
Right.
That gets in your head, and then you don't want to create because you're like hooked up to all these different perceptions. And then you lose the magic.
Yeah.
And the motivation.
That's what's challenging about this time.
This is about everything right now.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't have all of that when I first started. I might not have even
done it.
Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
Yeah.
I was so green.
Yeah.
When I first started. If social media happened back then and I did White Chicks, I'm sure people would have been talking about me. And I don't know. I may have stopped.
And you didn't have the skin to protect you
I did
at that
not
time?
at that time. I was
green,
I
you're
was
fresh,
fragile.
So fresh and clean. It's like it would have hit so much harder.
Oh yeah. I
understand that.
I was clueless. I didn't know what people thought of me.
Yeah.
I really didn't think about it.
It's great to not know. Ignorance is bliss and creativity sometimes, everybody. What inspires you the most?
I mean, when I watch amazing film.
Yeah.
And I mean, every year there's something that comes out that just inspires me to want to continue. I don't look at it and go, I could have done that better. I look at it and go, oh man, I can't wait to do something like that.
It just jolts you, like gives you like all this inspiration. Vision.
Film Black Panther. When I first saw Black Panther, I was so inspired. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe one day I can be up there in Wakanda.
Yeah, you're already moving to Wakanda.
Their light-skinned sister.
Wakanda adjacent.
Oh man. Or right now I'm watching Paradise, Sterling K.
I gotta
Brown
get on that.
show.
Everybody
It's
keeps
so
talking
good.
about Paradise. That's next for me.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Okay, I gotta get on that.
It's
Everybody's
streaming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but besides actors and films, what inspires me? Just when I see people doing good deeds,
Yeah,
serving so selfless.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so inspiring. It reminds me of what the world can be.
Yes, and what it is actually.
It is.
Truly.
Yeah.
At its core, that is who we are.
Yeah.
We just get kind of banged up on the way out.
It's true. Dogs.
Yeah.
Animals inspire me.
I know.
Like
I love
when
yeah.
we've talked about it before, like when you're in your head, they will just take you out, and you're just in the moment with them.
They're a guardian.
I love it.
It's like that. Did I ever talk to you that Guardians of Being book by Eckhart Tolle? My parents turned me on to Eckhart Tolle when I was younger. Guardians of Being. It's a little table book. I think I've brought it up too. I should get it to you.
Is this the one where, no, this is not about.
It's a comic book that Eckhart Tolle did about guardians of dogs and cats and how they mirror the present moment. And how that's their whole point, is to show us to live in the now.
Live in the now.
And then my father, dog is God spelled backwards. You know?
Yep.
They're so good at just,
Yeah.
I don't have I have a family dog, but.
Yeah, but you have a cat.
I have a cat. Joplin's interesting. He does pull me out, but he also keeps me on my toes. Cats are amazing. Animals in general.
Yeah.
You know?
It puts a smell. I mean, I pick up
so
Chico.
cute.
I pick up Chico sometimes, and I could be having a moment of just nervousness for whatever reason, and I'll just pet him, and it just warms my heart,
Yeah.
And
it puts you right back into the moment.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about how there's just so much noise. How are you limiting that bleed into your life? What are some things that you do to not get swayed? Because I think it's important for us all to talk about this right now, because I keep getting pulled into the news and blah, 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 blah. It's good to be informed, but like we really have to stay in our lane right now. It's the most important thing. So what are some things that you do to limit the exposure so you can stay in your beautiful aura of Rochelle and CJ?
So thank you. So not at this moment, but I often take social media breaks.
Yeah.
Like I can't just say I'm not going to go on. No, I have to delete it from the phone, and I just won't look at it for, I think of a month sometimes.
Okay, good.
And
it's really powerful.
I feel so good.
I did 2 weeks and it changed. After this, we roll out this episode, I'll take a break.
Yeah, I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to take a break after the show,
Exactly, because you have to be on there right now.
Right. So
boundaries with your social media.
Yes, absolutely. Also, every single morning we meditate before we get out of bed.
Guided meditation, are you doing?
I do mainly guided meditation. I've got 3.
Yeah.
I've got the Calm app. I've got Deepak Chopra's app. And just recently I downloaded Sadhguru's app.
Oh, Sadhguru has an app.
Yeah, I just kind of alternate depending on like what I'm in the mood for. I stretch, I work out, I do yoga, Pilates. And then
mind, body.
Yes, mind, body,
and every day you're meditating.
We do it. Yeah,
I believe you.
Get up. Oh yeah,
I'm like I meditate like every 3 days.
I'm not gonna lie. He started it.
Yeah, he's disciplined.
He started the meditation. He's a disciplined person.
So great to have that around. This has been a really. I mean, I feel like I've known you for so long, and I feel like I got to know you even more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's been great. Like, it's great to watch the ascension of and continuation of your career. Thank you. And you're such a light in my life and in my chair. I can only imagine what it's like working with you at a different capacity. It probably just continues and it keeps going forward and it keeps blossoming. It's so important to have people like that in our lives.
Yeah.
We kind of keep each other going. You know
That's
what I mean?
Right.
So where can people find you online and follow you?
Okay, so yes, social media. I have Instagram, and I am Rochelle Aytes the number 4 real, and the same on Facebook. And I'm sort of on
what's the other one?
Threads.
Oh yeah, Thread.
When I say sort of, I mean I have it, but I
Yeah,
don't do
I was
anything
using
on
it for a while, and then I got kind of pulled into some negative stuff, and I
It
had to
was
get
like
off.
TikTok. I mean,
Yeah, or
no,
Twitter.
Twitter.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't
It's
know.
like Twitter, so I'm not really doing that.
Instagram's
and
pretty
I'm
great.
not even on TikTok either. I'm
Yeah.
on TikTok, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really find me on Instagram or Facebook.
Is there anything else you would like to share? Well, since you have the stage at the Time for the Maker at Patch's Studio in Hollywood.
Well,
Is there anything you want to say?
You know, I have something to share. I have a dance routine that I would like to share for the whole audience. I'm joking.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, you guys. I mean, that could happen though. That could happen at another time, you guys. We did do a live music performance in here.
Oh, really?
She is a dancer. So
Right. I really want to take dance class,
Yes,
honestly,
okay.
because I want to get back into it.
I think
and
that'd be great.
have some dance
Music is
vocabulary because
so-
I love to dance.
so good.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Dancing is like life to me as
I know.
well.
Did we?
How
skip-
did I
well,
skip
Maybe that's because that's
dancing?
an automatic yes.
Exactly.
So it didn't come up because it's already just, it is.
It
you.
is, but that is
The
a
source.
huge source of my happiness
Yeah.
and peace.
So
Playing,
more dancing.
playing music,
Yes.
and dancing,
Getting it out.
Just,
Favorite record? Are you listening to a new album right now? What album are you loving right now?
man.
To share to people.
new, not
Well,
necessarily.
not new, but what album are you?
I mean, I
feeling?
listen to like Afrobeats stuff and Rotimi. I love him, and he's from Rotimi, Rotimi. He was actually an actor in Power.
Oh,
And he has an album. It's not new.
Oh, I'd love
it's
to hear
not
it.
new though.
okay. I haven't heard of him. I'd love to listen to it.
Yeah, Tyla,
Okay.
Tyla. She has this song called Water. It's just dope. I actually met her when I went to the Essence
This
luncheon
weekend. Yeah, 'cause
last
you
weekend.
you got to do all the.
I
It
got
was
to
Oscar
do all
weekend,
the-
you guys, and there was all this good stuff going on, and Rochelle
and
got to prance around.
I got to be a part.
Yeah,
You know, a
so
little
always
bit.
exciting.
So it's exciting,
Yeah.
right? Yes, but so I mean, I can always listen to some Bob Marley.
I
and
know, good stuff.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
I love. It depends. I love like all types of music, lyrical and things that I can like emote and feel. But then I can go for some Jay-Z too. You
I know, right?
I mean,
did you get
I'm
into the
all
Kendrick
over.
Lamar thing that we've? Because I'm obsessed, but
I wasn't actually.
Yeah.
No, my husband was playing it, and I was like, "What is this?"
yeah.
Because
Oh my
I
God,
was.
I'm like obsessed.
It's a West Coast.
Yeah, it is.
Thing for
That's
me.
right.
It
You're
took
from the
it
East
took-
Coast.
Yeah, it
You're
took
from New
me a
York.
minute to
Yeah.
like it.
This is like, I feel like it's happening all over again for us here. We're back in the 90s. Like, guys, I'm wearing
I know.
flannel. I
love it.
I've been like, it was such a great time to grow up.
Oh, it really was.
It was just, we're so lucky to have had a life without the phones and the social media.
It was, to me, I mean,
We
it
gotta
was,
pass that
it
on
was
for these-
awesome. It was like all about being in the moment before you even know what being in the moment
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
It was, you were.
Yeah,
you were
'cause
just,
you were just
in the
in it.
moment. Just in it.
You didn't have to worry about being in the moment because you are the moment.
I
and
don't
there was
really
not a
have many
distraction.
pictures from it,
Yeah,
but
'cause we were in
I
it.
had the memory.
Yeah, exactly. I have like printed out photos, like from the disposables.
Right.
But yeah, I love that you said that. It was about being in the moment back then, but we did before we knew that that's what it was.
Yep.
That's cool. That was a good reflection. I
Yeah,
really like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much for coming,
You're
Rochelle. We
welcome.
love having you at Time for the Maker.
This was
And,
awesome.
We're sending out love to our Los Angeles community. We had a
Yes.
really intense beginning of the year. We've also had with the fires, and then we've had the strikes, and then we've got all these changes, and
Yeah.
film studios are moving around. But we're holding down the fort.
That's right.
So we love you guys.
Love you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching and listening. That was a lovely conversation with Rochelle. And she said something back when we lived in the moment and we didn't even know that that was living in the moment yet, as referring to technology. And I was like, whoa, that really hit me. We didn't even know how special that time was then until now. And I think it is very important for all of us who lived in that time to radiate out there and share what that was like to not have so much distraction and noise. There's so much happening around us, and I've talked about it in here before, but even the volume's turned all the way up. We have so many distractions, so much media attention, the phones, so many different social media channels, all these different ways to get information, some of it true, some of it not, some of it's just clickbait and fear. And no matter what side of the aisle you might sit in the world or in your country or in our country right now, it is very important to limit how much static you are hearing. And that hit me in this conversation. And If we can learn how to have healthy boundaries with what we are absorbing, it'll be a lot easier to tune into ourselves so we can keep going. It's interesting that when she had said, I don't even know when I was green if I could have moved forward in my career with the amount of information we get when we post something, or if people don't like you or they're not impressed by your work. We have to all learn how to just let that roll off of us. Don't let them bring you up, because then they can bring you down. Right now, in the time that we are in, we are all being challenged to create our lane, to stay in it, and have boundaries, healthy boundaries with the information we are receiving, so we can keep our hope alive. And it is a time to be courageous. And I know those words have been said in here before, but it is courageous to, in the face of things that are scary or unnerving, or change is scary. Growing beyond your comfort is scary. We have to do it anyway. If you feel called to step in to a different environment, a different city, a different line of work, a different version of yourself, do it anyway. That's where the magic is. And also, movement forward is a really good antidote to fear and stagnation. And we all have to remind each other to do that. And part of being a creative person on the planet right now is to keep the energy going forward, keep seeing a better future, a more inclusive one, a more loving one, and to inspire each other to keep making those steps forward, no matter how frozen we might be. Unfreeze yourself and keep it going. Thank you for tuning in for Time for the Maker. I would also like to say this before the episode is over. I'd like to take a moment to send love to everybody who was affected by the fires in Los Angeles, Altadena, Palisades, and then there was fires recently going on in the Carolinas. I just want to send love to anybody who was affected to that, as it impacts all of us, even if it didn't directly affect us. It directed a lot of my clients and friends lost their homes, and I just want to send love out to everyone. May we make it through this time. May we be creative. May we be more loving, and may we have more courage. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.